Welcome to another edition of Momentum TV. I'm your host, Robert Green with the James Worth Bagley College of Engineering. We're fortunate today to be joined by our guest, Dr. Andy Perkins. Dr. Perkins is a professor in our Computer Science and Engineering Department, where he also serves as the Associate Department Head. For some inside baseball stuff, he's also chair of our University Courses and Curricula Committee, so we like to keep him on our good side to get our course proposals approved. Dr. Perkins, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So I want to start with mentioning your teaching awards. A couple of years ago, you were inducted into our Academy of Distinguished Teaching in the college for both your excellence and enthusiasm in teaching both undergraduate and graduate courses. Tell us a little bit about your teaching and why you like it and sort of what your philosophy is.
Yeah, sure. I was actually very excited to be inducted in 2019 into the Academy. It's a great honor. When I see the people that have been inducted before, you know, those are great teachers, and happy to be among them. Teaching is one of the things that I really love to do. It's probably one of the best parts of my job. I think what I really enjoy is when I go into the classroom, and a lot of the classes I teach, I'm not just teaching, I'm learning a lot of things too. So I teach a course in computational biology, and that course is a split level course that has undergraduate and graduate students in it. And we have a semester project in there. And the students are encouraged to go out and find something that they really want to study and do a proper research project. And then they bring that back and apply the techniques we learn in class. And I learn a lot about things I would never have the chance to learn about because they're doing studies on things like plants and catfish and corn and all sorts of animals and bacteria. And it's a chance for me to learn a little bit too.
Okay. So you mentioned computational biology. I know that's one of your areas of interest. Can you tell us something about the degrees and certificates and endorsements they provide?
Right, sure. We have, at the undergraduate level, we have an endorsement in computational biology. Graduate students can also get that endorsement. We've had that since 2006, so quite a long time. We have a series of classes that students take, like the one I just mentioned, the computational biology class in computer science and engineering. We also need students to take a computer programming class because there's a large portion of programming and some computational biology things. But then they can select other classes to take that are either in engineering or in ag and life sciences or in arts and sciences or veterinary medicine to get that endorsement. We also have a master's and a PhD degree, and that's new as of spring 21, where students can pursue either a courses or a thesis master's, or they can do a PhD. And one of the unique things about that is they have the opportunity to work with any faculty at the university, actually, can become part of the computational biology program.
I suspect when most people think of computers, the last thing they think of to go along with them is biology.
Right.
How did you come to be interested in that field?
Yeah, so actually, I went to the University of Tennessee for my PhD, and I actually went because they had a very strong high-performance computing program, supercomputers and things like that. And it turns out that that they do, but I also got interested in computer science theory while I was there. And it turns out that there was a professor that did exactly what I wanted to do, which was computer science theory and high-performance computing, but he applied it to computational biology. Because it turns out that when you combine those things, you can use those as tools to discover things about, I guess, new biological knowledge. So that's how I really got involved, and it was right about the time when a lot of biology technology was generating this massive amount of data. We've been there for a while now, but it was just starting kind of like in the early 2000s to have so much data that we need new computational methods to be able to analyze all of it. And that's exactly where computer science theory, high performance computing, and all of the things we learn in computer science come in to be able to take that data and make sense of it all.
I know a lot of our students come in as freshmen and they're concerned whether or not they've chosen the major. So I find it interesting that you were in grad school before you really sort of decided what area you wanted to pursue.
Yeah, and that certainly happens.
Yeah.
I mean, our students come in, and sometimes they don't know whether they want to do computational biology or if they want to do software engineering or cybersecurity. So any of those areas, I think it's important to get that, kind of that foundational knowledge in computer science, and then you can apply it to a variety of areas.
Well, you mentioned some other majors. So you are the Associate Department Head for the Computer Science and Engineering Department, and you offer multiple degrees. Can you tell us a little bit about the degrees that are offered and some of the differences between them?
Right, yeah. So we have a degree in computer science. We have software engineering. We have new, as of last fall, cybersecurity. Those are all of our bachelor degrees. We also have graduate degrees. We have a master's in computer science, a PhD in computer science, and then a master's in cybersecurity and operations. Along with that, we also partner with electrical and computer engineering on the computer engineering bachelor's degree, and then the computational biology degrees I told you about. We sometimes have students come in as freshmen and they don't really understand what's the difference between all of these different degrees, and we have to work with them. And what I always tell people is, if you're comfortable in front of a computer doing software things and programming and using software tools, computer science or software engineering might be your thing. If you're really interested in some of the hardware things, maybe it's computer engineering. It could be computer science too. And usually cybersecurity, which is really one of the hot topics in computer science, people know that that's what they want to do because they see the news and they hear about all of these attacks on computer systems, and they want to be part of actually being able to defend against that. And we teach them that in a lot of our classes, actually.
Yeah. So what is one of the major differences between computer science and software engineering, for example?
So computer science, at least here at State, it's very general. It gives students an opportunity to focus on what they decide they're interested in, or a little bit of everything. We have classes in artificial intelligence and visualization and high-performance computing, and we have enough flexibility in the program that you could take some of those courses and build a program that is exactly what you need. With software engineering, we ask students to focus on software engineering courses where they learn how to take maybe a large software project all the way from the beginning to the end of the software development lifecycle, where they begin with working with clients to determine requirements. They do design, development, and then even working with clients afterwards on maintenance of the software. And they also learn about testing and quality assurance, because those are important things when you're working on large projects. Testing, quality assurance, project management, those are the skills that you get in software engineering.
Well, so much of what we do today is controlled and monitored and governed by software. I think quality assurance is important there.
That's right.
I know this isn't your area, but how about game design? I'll often run into students who want to do computer science to design games, and I'm not sure they appreciate all that's really involved in designing games. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. We always get students in on various visits, coming to see the department or during Scholars Recognition Day, and the thing that got them interested in computer science is gaming, because that's, I think, the one thing that everybody has in common is they're brought up on playing the games on various gaming systems, computer or their phone or something like that. We do have a game design course, actually, that we teach every year. It's probably one of our most popular classes. It fills up instantly, and students actually get to work with a group of students in the class to build the game. But there's a lot of math, there's a lot of programming, but there's also development of the story. Sometimes people that work on game design, they also work on things like music and art, or they collaborate with people that do that as well.
Okay, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
I know we, in your department, has been very active in cybersecurity over the last several years, particularly at the graduate level. Can you tell us a little bit about the certifications we have from the National Security Agency and what they are and what their significance is?
Right. So we've been designated a Center of Academic Excellence by the National Security Agency, like you said, for over 20 years. We have all three of the designations that they award. Those are in cybersecurity defense, they're in research, and they're in cyber operations. And those designations are basically an assurance from the government that we're teaching the things in our classes that are going to prepare our students to go out into the cybersecurity workforce. And they'll be able to go out there and act as cybersecurity engineers where they can help defend computer systems and networks or respond to incidents. Those designations also offer opportunities to our students. And one of those actually is we have an award from the National Science Foundation. It's called the Scholarship for Service, where some of our students receive a scholarship where they have a year-for-year commitment to work for one of the government agencies in the cybersecurity area. And that's directly linked to our designations from the NSA.
I suspect that also helps our students when they're applying for jobs.
Absolutely, that they get good experience through internships and then also working with one of the branches of government after they graduate.
So I know we do a lot of research and of course a lot of education in cybersecurity. Could you offer a few tips for our viewers on what they might want to do at home for cybersecurity to protect their computers and systems?
It seems like, we've all kind of, been involved in a cybersecurity incident at some point. And this is one of the reasons, actually, we see all of the emails from the university saying, be careful what emails you open and what information you give away. And it's pretty well known that the weakest link in any computer system are the humans. And that's why we get so many phishing emails where people are sending emails asking for personal information, or they're asking you to enter your password, because they realize it's much easier, instead of exploiting a vulnerability in the computer, to exploit the people instead. And when they target people on a wide scale like that, they only have to have a couple responses. If they just get somebody to give their password, then they get that access that they need. So you have to, I think, be suspicious of requests that you get an email or even on the phone, and think, should I really be giving this person my personal information or my password? And if there's any doubt, it's easy enough to just say no.
So safe to say Microsoft and Apple are not going to call us at home to fix our computers.
That's right.
Well, Dr. Perkins, I want to thank you for taking the time today and joining us, and for all you're doing for our students in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. I want to thank you all for taking the time to view us today. I want to welcome you next month to another episode of Momentum TV from the James Worth Bagley College of Engineering at Mississippi State University.